Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm gonna be giving you part 26 of What If Naruto Became the God of Lightning. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual. Share this with your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was Neglected with Jushin sealed inside of him, and enjoy that guys over on Anime King 3. And also guys, over on Anime King 2, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Was to advanced first age, so go ahead and check out that and enjoy. And yeah, if you're new, this is the first time you hear my voice, I indeed have 3 channels, Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime King 3, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And yeah, without further ado, would you so begin this new episode, start the intro. So the last spot we left off. As a part of his punishment, his chakra was sealed away. As Sasuke could not really do much. He only had the necessary amount of chakra to just keep on moving around. A seal placed on him by Naruto. And Tsunade made it well efficient after all. Naruto could handle him just in case, so he was at Naruto's place. He had 3 rooms, so he had room to spare. Sakura came over every now and then, as she just wanted to visit Sasuke and see if he was okay. Not to mention he had to apologize to everyone, as they had went through a lot to bring him back. Yes, a lot of them got wounded badly, so he had to apologize. As Sasuke didn't really feel like he had to after all, but that was surely put down when Sakura threatened to punch him. She has been getting rather violent with him lately when he doesn't want to do something that is the best for everyone. As they made their way there, as all of them were gathered, Kiba let it drag down a bit, but he eventually shrugged it off. Well, it's not like he completely forgave him yet, as Shikamaru just didn't want to bother with the hassler troublesome news, so he didn't really care. Not to mention he wasn't even a part of the mission, so that didn't mean much to him. As the rest of the night went on, as everyone had returned back to some sense of normalcy, until the attack. Yujito was attacked by the Akatsuki. As she bought time for the others to rush back to the village, Amoy and Karu did, as he informed the Raikage, who was sending out a squad. But it will take long for them to get there. So, Konoha was informed, seeing that he was in the region where Kakazu and Hidan were taking her to, as they were sure that she was captured, because if she was not, she would have returned back by now. As Naruto and his team, along with Team 8, made their way out to try and find her, as they were getting nowhere fast, as Naruto then drew natural energy to himself. By shooting lightning up in the sky, Naruto created a cloud of pure darkness above him that sucked the natural energy inside, then came back down on him in a lightning bolt. It flooded his body with nature energy as he advanced his senses. His clone spread out as they were able to pinpoint a location. Rushing over there, Naruto wasted no time as he broke right through the underground tunnel, making his way underneath. As he didn't even bother to make way for Hidan or Kakazu, as he simply blew them away. Lightning that was supposed to blow their body to pieces, but somehow they survived. As Naruto went inside, he locked eyes with the Rinnegan as he saw it. Kurama had told him about it as he scanned the room rather quickly, his eyes taking in everything before he saw Yujito. As the process was not done yet, so Naruto started to gather all the nature energy into his palm as he was about to obliterate the statue completely. But Nagato had to send it away. The girl did not die because not all of the Bichu chakra was pulled out of her, but her chakra coils were almost bursting with having the chakra so quickly pulled, as the Nimi consciousness was gone, but a little bit of chakra remains of her, as Naruto caught her and sent his clone to bring her to Sakura, who quickly worked on making sure the girl would live, as Naruto stayed behind as he took them on. Somewhere in the others then came, as Naruto obliterated Hidan's mind with electricity destroying the man's brain. Kakashi was knocked out by Kakazu, who surprisingly had 5 hearts. as Naruto took him and brought him away, as Hinata was in the interception, making sure they weren't going to be attacked by any others. As Naruto faced off against Kakazu, along with Samui, until he came down to Naruto and Kakazu, who was quite pissed that the upstarter was trying to bring him down as he was a man that survived a battle with the first Hokage, but Naruto indeed brought him down. Samui then came over. Hidan burst out of nowhere as the man had recovered. He aimed to stab Naruto, but Samui pushed him out of the way and she got stabbed. As Hidan brought down the other pike to kill her just to make the blonde suffer. As Naruto's body erupted in lightning. Not Sage Mode or the Fox Chakra, something completely different and unique to him. So yeah guys, so it's basically that's what left off. You guys can switch across the place and check out for this episode to begin this new episode. Kurama once told Naruto to be able to achieve the title of God of Lightning, you will have to be able to turn yourself into lightning completely. That feat on itself was really impossible. For Kurama, who could literally turn his body into a mass of chakra and could move at his speed, not to mention to turn that chakra into pure lightning, it was quite easy. But for a normal human being, well, Naruto wasn't normal in any sense, given that Kurama was inside of him, but still, to be able to break his body particles, his molecules down to that small quantity, to shift them into nothing but lightning, that feat was rare, as Kurama was known as the god of lightning for a reason. And he told Naruto when he was able to achieve that feat, that is when he was the god of lightning. And Naruto was known as the god of lightning for a reason after all. That is why as Hidan came down to kill Samui, he brought down the other pike in his arm, as she got stabbed right through her midsection. As she turned, as she saw the pike coming down towards her, as Naruto's body shifted, it happened. The naked eye could not see it. Hinata had to quickly deactivate her Byakugan as sparks swallowed the entire area. It happened so quickly she had to deactivate her eyes. She was rushing towards the scene to help them, but she had to stop. She had created that clone to hold on to Kakashi, who got knocked really badly. But he was gonna be fine. When she had to stop and close her eyes, Zetsu came out of the foliage as he also had to close his eyes. The bright spark just swallowed everything. It was done in a flash though. So fast that one could not even react in time. You need special eyes like the Sharingan or the Rinnegan to see. The Byakugan, as powerful as it was just not there to experience the speed that Naruto went at that moment. Not to mention most eyes were susceptible to fluctuation of chakra. So even the Rinnegan or the Sharingan, it wouldn't be so easy to keep up. So that is why Hidan found himself missing an arm before he even knew what happened to him. The next thing he knew, he was in mid-air, confused. He felt that pain as he looked over, his other arm was severed. Hidan didn't even know what happened. Next thing he knew, he was on the ground. And he was looking at his body. His body that was missing both arms and legs, that was currently in the process of being melted down to nothingness. His head was then grabbed as his eyes, he felt the searing pain as electricity burst the sockets, literally exploding his eyeballs. As Naruto was holding the head in his arm, it was not Naruto anymore. Well, if you look at it, you wouldn't say that was actually a human. The only thing people saw was the bright flash in the air. There was no decidable traits, no body parts, nothing, just pure light. As the lightning was just compact towards a level where it was smooth. Lightning to be at that degree was immensely controlled. No spasm, nothing. As Naruto completely liquefied Hidan's head. If he didn't have a body to recover, how would you recover? Hidan's body parts were incinerated, the lightning being so hot to a degree where it burned hotter than any other fire. A lightning that could keep up with the Amaterasu flames when it comes towards heat. As the man's body was burned, electrocuted from the inside out. In a second, someone felt a hand on her shoulder. She looked up with a smile. As she saw Naruto, his body had returned back to normal. "You gotten faster," she said. As she smiled, but she coughed. Small trail of blood coming out of her mouth. "It's alright," said Naruto as he picked her up. "Everything's gonna be fine." "I know that," she said. "Besides, it's not that bad," as she winks, her hand over the wound. As Naruto was gone the next second, Zetsu came over as he picked up Kakazu's ring. He didn't even know if Hidan had a ring anymore, because there was nothing left of him. The ring must have melted away. Meanwhile, Sakura wiped her forehead as she sighed. Yujita was gonna be just fine, she just needed a lot more rest. She was currently in an induced coma. Her body needed time to reangulate her chakra coils. As they had been on the verge of bursting, Sakura had placed her body into a coma so that she could heal properly without her waking up and flooding chakra through her system to stir them up back. The next moment, Sakura felt the ear shift behind her. Sakura, as she turned to see Naruto standing there, he had a frantic look on his face as he placed somewhere down calmly. "You're gonna be alright now," said Naruto, as she simply smiled at him. Before she looked towards Sakura, who didn't say anything, she immediately got to work, her hands glowing. "Can you tell him it's okay? He's always worried," said Samui. "It's gonna be alright, Naruto," said Sakura, as she looked at the girl. As Sakura got to work, Naruto released a sigh. He saw Kakashi walking over with Hinata. As Kakashi observed the group, he looked down towards Samui, who just looked back up as she gave him a thumbs up. She was fine. Kakashi released a sigh. He never expected that at all. The last thing he remembered was killing that guy, and next thing everything went black. Well, he will get the report later. Good thing Naruto was here to handle things. As he saw Naruto panicking a bit as he looked towards the girl, despite Sakura already giving him the okay that she was gonna be fine. As Kakashi could see that look on his face. It was the same look that his sensei always gets when anything come towards Kushina. He really loved her. "You see," said Samui as she smiled at Naruto. "I told you everything was gonna be fine." "Yeah," said Naruto. His body spasmed as he collapsed face first. Hearing her call out his name, he was gone. When Naruto woke up, he was inside his Mindscape. As he sat there, "What happened?" he said. "You overdid it," said Kurama, as he was currently sitting down. The Mindscape had changed what it seems to be at first. It was now a beach resort, with a massive ocean in front of him. Kurama was sitting down in his human form, as he was in front of the beach, on a lawn chair, with a cool glass of lemonade in his hand, like he actually had to drink or eat anything. As he looked towards Naruto, "Told you that you had to keep your mind calm while your body is still made up of lightning. Otherwise, it will cause a severe, nasty effect once you're done. Worrying about that girl so much, it caused your body to spasm out of control. But you're fine. You'll wake up soon enough," said Kurama. As Naruto came over as a chair materialized, as he dropped down the chair. "You know, this is nice," he said. "You're telling me," said Kurama as he came back. "So," said Naruto, "my eyes weren't fooling me, right? That guy. Yeah. He had the same eyes of the sage. Seems what we fear is coming to pass. Seems like they indeed want to bring back the Ten Tails. But as long as you don't get captured and slaughter every member of the Akatsuki before anything happens, we should be fine. Because I don't plan on becoming a part of that thing once again. If it do get revived, do you think I could beat it?" said Naruto. Kurama laughed as Naruto looked towards him. "Not possible, huh?" said Naruto. "Let's just not go there," Kurama said. "Not in the state that you're at right now." "Well, if I did what?" said Naruto. Kurama simply shrugged him off. "Nothing," he said. "You're not gonna tell me, huh?" "Nothing for you to worry about," Kurama said. "Alright, fine," said Naruto. "Everyone's okay, right?" Yeah, they're just waiting for you to wake up. But you did something good today. 2 more members of the Caskets are done for, because of you. You just need to find that guy with the Rinnegan, and help Sasuke defeat Itachi. And all of this will be put to an end once and for all." "Yeah," said Naruto, as he clenched his fists. "That guy with the Rinnegan must be the real mastermind. Now I have a clue to tell Jiraiya what to look for." "Yeah, I guess you do," said Kurama, as Naruto nodded. As he looked at his hand that started to fade away. "Guess you're waking up," said Kurama. "Be gone already. You're interrupting my peaceful sleep." As he waved his hand, as the ocean water rushed upwards, and the soothing calm put him to sleep. "You just love to sleep," said Naruto. "What else am I gonna do?" said Kurama, as he fell asleep. As Naruto blinked his eyes open, he felt a hand holding onto his hand. He was in a bed. A motel, it seems, as he looked around. Because he was definitely not home. A body beside him stirred. "You're awake?" As Samui looked directly at him with a smile. Are you okay? She asks. I should be the one asking you that, said Naruto. As she released a sigh, she looked down towards her skin. Sakura did great work, as it was a bandage over her. Are you okay? You passed out. You had me worried. Guess I just didn't control myself quite well. Well, it had to do with you, said Naruto. And you know who I am. Yes, I do, she said. Just don't do anything that stupid again. You had me really worried when you just went black like that. And you had me worried when you jumped in the way and took that attack. What? You're a little baby, she said. I couldn't have you getting hurt and then whine about the wound. I could take it. As Naruto chuckled at that. As she placed her head on his chest. Besides, what can I do when my body just moves on its own to protect the one I love? That brought a smile to Naruto's face as he just held her closer. And this is almost over with, he said. 2 more Akatsuki members done for. The rest we can handle, she said. Yeah, said Naruto. Time skip. She's in the hospital, resting up. Her chakra coils were immensely strained, but she'll be fine. I've already sent a message to Raikage, relaying him the events about what happened. And once she's all fixed up, she can go home when she likes. So, what's going on with the tail beast, she asks. Well, said Naruto, I checked the seal. There is still remnants of chakra remaining inside that is circulating through her system. Having all of it extracted would have led to her death, but given the fact that there are still more chakra inside of her. But it seems that the consciousness of the Nebe had been taken away while she was being sealed away. So you got there in time, Jiraiya asks. Yes, said Naruto, as the 3 of them were the only one in the office. And I saw what they were doing. Well, I guess it's time for me to tell you guys everything, said Naruto. Everything, said Tsunade. Her eye twitched. So, you've been keeping more away from us once again, she said. Yeah, sorry about that. You see, it was just a hunch. So Kurama believes that the Ninetales, said Tsunade. Yes. Well, first of all, there's something that you should know. The myth about the Sage of Six Path, it's real. And Kurama is basically his son, said Naruto. Tsunade blinked at that. His son? As Naruto sat down and he told them everything that he knew. Throughout the story, Jiraiya stood there, eyes widened. Hearing this information was just like, well, a bomb dropped on your shoulders. Surprising to find out all this was real. But a part of it that caught his interest was the Rinnegan. Because Jiraiya knew someone that had the Rinnegan once Naruto was finished. So you're telling me, they're trying to revive a beast that is more powerful than Ninetales by a long shot. Yeah, and the Ninetales are really, how would you say, prideful person, more than prideful. So for him to accept that 10 Tails is that much more powerful, I guess we should make sure that we take care of this in Naruto. Tsunade sighed. More problems after another, she thought to herself. Well, at least Naruto took out 2 more members of the Akatsuki, so it's only a matter of time before the organization came to an end. Jiraiya, she said. As a man who went completely silent, what's wrong? Well, kid, you remember what I told you about my 3 past students? Yeah, said Naruto. The ones at the Hidden Rain, right? There's something I didn't tell you. One of them had the Rinnegan. Wait, seriously? Said Naruto. Yeah, said Jiraiya. But you told me that they died, said Jiraiya. I must be just overthinking things, but I want to go and check. Check, said Tsunade. I got this foolproof source that they were killed in the war. But if anything, I want to go and investigate. Just give me a day, said Naruto, and I'll be ready. No, said Jiraiya. I'll do this alone. What? You know that this possibility that you might have is real. And from what Kurama tell me about the Rinnegan, it's alright, said Jiraiya as he patted Naruto on the shoulder. I'm not going anywhere to fight. I'm just gonna investigate. It's rather hard to get in the Hidden Rain if you're not a citizen from that place. So, being it me alone, I'll be able to get in quite quickly. Tsunade had a stern look on her face. You sure about this, she said. I don't want you going doing anything stupid. Come on, Jaime, he said. Don't worry, kid, he says. He looked towards Naruto, who didn't seem to be all up for the idea. Everything's gonna be fine. I'll just pop in and try to get some information like I usually do. And I'll come back and relay that information. You just focus on your happy little girlfriend and your happy little life right now. Naruto sighed. Fine. Just don't do anything stupid that would get you killed. Come on, kid. I'm Jiraiya, the Toad Sani. Who in this world that can bring me down? And don't say you. As Naruto laughed at that. Well, once you're back, just inform me, said Naruto. As he moved towards the door, he paused. Seriously, don't do anything stupid, he said. Jiraiya just shrugged him off. I'll be fine, kid, he said. With that, Naruto left the office. Tsunade was quiet. What time? Are you worried? He asked. I don't want you doing anything stupid. Go in alone. Are you sure this is wise? I'm not going there to pick a fight. I'm just going there to get some information. And as I said, it would be much easier for me to go alone, to sneak in and out. After all, we wouldn't want the Hidden to think that Konoha is starting to think against them. As he patted on his shoulder. If one might say, it sounds like you're almost worried about me to the point of... if I dare say, needed me to stay because you have a thing for me. In your dream, she said. As her face got serious, but as the kid said, be careful. And I will, he said. Just to gather some information. Stop making a big deal out of it, he said to her. Despite everything, you old perv, you're still important. As he placed a hand to his chest. I'm honored that you think so worthy of me, he said, as he smiled at her. Be back in a couple of days. A week, tops. With that, he waved goodbye as he leaped through the window, making his way. It was just going to be a simple investigation, Tsunade thought to herself. And Jiraiya was going to come back no matter what. Yes, she thought to herself. Hours later. And you took care of the both of them, Sasuke asked. Yep, said Naruto, as he was eating an apple as he looked towards Sasuke. You didn't see anyone else? No, I didn't see your brother, said Naruto, as he knew that is what Sasuke was asking for. When am I going to get these restraints off, he asked. Well, if you hadn't betrayed the village, you would have been free right now, jackass, said Naruto. How many times do I have to apologize for that, said Sasuke. A million, said Naruto. Screw you, Sasuke said. You know, being in someone's house and talking to them that disrespectful way, it's not really good. I mean, after my generosity, you should be on your knees right now, thanking your Lord Naruto for what he did for you. As if, Sasuke said. Young ones these days. No respect to their elders. You're not older than me, Sasuke said. Well, in my mind I am, said Naruto. Sasuke simply shrugged him off. Can you talk to the Hokage? Having this thing on me is weighing me down, and I need to be ready for when the time comes. And you will be. And I wouldn't try to push her. After all, you know if it was other people, you'll be dead, right? I mean, if it wasn't for me or Sakura, or if Tsunade wasn't so generous, you'll be in the ground right now, paying for your actions. You're gonna keep on holding that over my head, aren't you? Asked Sasuke. Yeah, if I have to, said Naruto. Sasuke sighed as he shook his head. Samui then came in the room. As she looked towards Naruto, she had a frown on her face. What's wrong? The Hokage is calling for you, she said. So, what's with the frown? Mei Terumi is here. As Naruto blinked at that. Now? The Hokage seemed to have forgotten to tell you with all of the developments. Yes. She's here to talk with Tsunade for a possible alliance. And you've been requested to come there. And you're angry, said Naruto. Because she's always flirting with you. Even though she knows that you're already in a committed relationship. But you know I would never do anything. And yet you don't forcefully tell her no. You always seem to enjoy her flirting with you. Really? Said Naruto. Come on, it's just my friendly nature. Samui eye twitched at that. Friendly nature, huh? Dude, even I knew that was stupid, said Sasuke. As Naruto turned towards him, Samui simply walked away. Hey, said Naruto. You okay? He says. He came closer. All for the door to slam in his face. Huh. Guess sometime I just talk too much. You know something, Sasuke? Whenever you see me talking too much, slightly punch me over the head or something to get me to shut up. Gladly, said Sasuke, as he raised his fist. Hey, not now, said Naruto. I'm not really talking that much. So what's up with you and this Mei Terumi? She's a Mizukage of Kiri, said Naruto. We kinda had a deal for me to give her back the blade, and for me to help her with a couple missing ends. She was gonna sign a pact with Konoha Alliance, something that would benefit both villages. But given my good looks, charming attitude, she's kind of obsessed with me, said Naruto. But I'm already in a committed relationship with the girl I love, said Naruto loudly. As he heard nothing back from the other side of the door. She's really pissed at you. Hey, try to cool things over with both of you here, said Naruto. Sasuke smirked at that. What's with that smirk? You know some guys would be worried that another guy is here with your girlfriend. Well, I know if you try anything, she'll probably castrate you. And that would be a funny scene, said Naruto. And on the other hand, Sakura would probably beat you to death, so yeah. I'm not jealous. Go ahead and do something, said Naruto as he walked off. Sasuke sighed. He was the most popular boy in the academy, as girls were fawning over him left or right. Of course he could get that girl if he wanted. Or probably she would. He looked down. Probably not best to risk it, as he thought about Sakura punching him as well. Lately she has been getting rather, well, abusive whenever he did things out of the way. And he didn't have his chakra to fight back. Well, not that he would harm her or anything, but she was getting a bit tough on him. She was still pissed at him leaving the village and betraying them. And he was trying to make it up to her. Mindscape as Naruto arrived in the office. As he was standing there, the woman knew that he came in, but she did not move. As Naruto looked towards Snappy. Ah, Naruto, you made it, said Snappy. He didn't know why he has to be here. Yes, Hokage-sama, said Naruto, calling her with the proper respect. But may I ask, why am I here? It's that simple, said a voice. Because I wanted to see you. As the beautiful crimson hair made the room return. As the woman had an ample bosom, close to Snappy, flowing red hair, as she was wearing a one-piece dress that seemed to hug her figure quite tightly. Did you miss me, Naruto-kun? She said. For a Kage to be speaking to someone like that so casually, it sounds rather weird. Even Snappy saw it, but May seemed to be rather confident with it, like it happened multiple times before. Well, it's been a long while, Kage-sama, said Naruto, giving her proper respect. Oh, come on, she said. I told you that you could call me Misan if you want. I mean, we are friends, correct? You did help me out of that bind. I mean, if it wasn't for you, the invasion would have been lost. That's another thing, said Snappy with a smile. Naruto, why didn't you tell me that you were such a big part in the Kira invasion? Well, I didn't really have that much, said Naruto. Oh, you're lowering your standards. Hokage-sama, I assure you, if it wasn't for him, all of it would have been lost. As modest as I am, I have to give props when props are due. He not only single-handedly take on 2 platoons of Yagura forces, he handled all of the Ondos by himself, without actually killing them. Now that Yagura is gone, their loyalty was judged, and most of them were brought over to my side. So, you put yourself in danger, and almost got yourself killed, said Snappy. That was the part that she heard. Oh, quite on the opposite. He was able to handle himself quite well. Well, he almost got hurt once, but nothing too dangerous. Myself included, and a lot more of my loyalists was there to give my backup hand. Snappy eyebrow and twitch. As Naruto looked towards me, who simply smiled at him, a sweet smile. Can I ask why am I here? Well, I came here to talk about the relationship between Kira and Konoha. And there's one thing I want to put on the table, a proposition to be made before we start talking about alliances. Snappy was a bit surprised by that. And what would that be? A marriage contract to make things more firm with the villages. Marriage? Said Snappy. Yes. Me and one of your splendid shinobis. And if I may say, I would gladly pick. As Naruto sighed, Snappy spoke. I'm afraid that's not gonna work. He's already with someone that he really loves. And I wouldn't want to break up that, even if it does mean a possible alliance. May simply smiled at that. The woman was using a wonderful tactic as a Kage. I must say, you think highly of your shinobis. As much disappointed as I am, I won't really force anything, she said. But it's a shame that we wouldn't get a chance together, she said. If it was any other man, they would probably curse themselves right now. After all, to pass up the chance of being with Akagi, none other than this beautiful redhead. But Naruto was already madly in love with Samui, so he wouldn't change anything about that. And not to mention Samui was already pissed at him, and he wouldn't want to piss her off anymore. So, I'm sure that you have to get down to a lot of business with the council, and all that, said Naruto. Well, shouldn't you attend this meeting as well, said me. I mean, you're a big part of why we're now signing this alliance. As Naruto looked towards Tsunade, he really didn't want to, but just to piss him off. Yes, he should, she said. For him to see the depths of business signing between villages. As Naruto's eyebrow twitched, that would teach a brat for not involving her in certain things that he does. Time skip. Alright, fine, said Tsunade. As it took 2 days. 2 days for them to iron out the effects and causes and problems between the alliances. For what Kiri wanted from Konoha and for what Konoha wanted from Kiri. But in the end they signed a treaty. With that, Mei and Kojiro and Ao left. As Konoha and Kiri. Subsequently, soon enough that San will be a part of it, considering that Konoha and San were good alliances. And Kumo as well. The only person that was being left out in the cold was Oniki, who was gonna see that soon enough and he was gonna be pissed. After all, everyone is joining alliances and he was being left out in the cold. For the stone to fend for itself. He wasn't allied with anyone except for some smaller nations that they got goods and services from, but nothing other than that. Tsunade was currently sitting out behind her decks right now. She hasn't received anything from Jiraiya yet. But she didn't think that he got to the hidden arena already. After all, it was quite the trick getting there. But her mind was still running on him for some reason, as she was worried. As she didn't know how Naruto was feeling about the whole situation. But Jiraiya made it seem so easy that he would just pop in and pop out with the information. But still, things in this shinobi world didn't go as they, well, often do. Suddenly, the place shook. A tremor that rocked the entire village. Tsunade's eyebrow twitched. She had been merciful and allowed Sasuke's seal to be removed, as he had shown that he wasn't a threat to the village after all. He never actually harmed anyone except for Naruto, who was gonna pay him back for that, and that is exactly what he's doing at the moment. Something that Tsunade wasn't so subtle about. As she watches the papers blow off her decks as her window was open, a gust swept through the village. She got out of her seat as she jumped to the window, as she was gonna pound some sense into those idiotic brats. Why the hell were they going so hard, so close to the village for? Causing panic, as she made her way out there. A few minutes earlier, as Sasuke rolled his neck, Sakura and Samui was standing over to the side. No one else was there. Much better, huh, said Naruto. Much, said Sasuke. Thanks for that again, he said, as he rolled his neck, thanking Naruto for speaking to Tsunade one more time. After all, she let him sit through that boring meeting for no reason at all. Well, at least he learned a couple of things. Sakura came over. Alright guys, she said, don't go too overboard. Because the both of you look like you really want to hurt each other. Well, he's still pissed from what happened back then, said Sasuke. And I bet he does want to hurt me a bit, don't you? Well, if I say no, I would be lying, said Naruto. Naruto, said Sakura. Come on. You want to hurt him as well, just a small bit, right? As Sasuke looked towards Sakura. I guess you're right. Really? Sasuke said. Yeah, he's right, she said. But just don't hurt him too much. You know I can defend myself, right? Said Sasuke. But he's still gonna kick your ass, said Samui. And I would rather enjoy that. Oh, did I tell you, Naruto? He was trying to hit on me while you were gone. You did what? Said Naruto. She's lying, Sasuke said. Why would I lie about that? I was there angry at you for when you went to that meeting with Mei Terumi. And he asked me how my day was going. And that I had beautiful eyes. What? Said Sakura. As Sasuke backed away. As Naruto's eye twitched. Sakura came over. Are you telling the truth? Nah. Just want to rile them up a bit. Well, Naruto that is. You know that he might end up hurting them just for you, right? More pain the better, said Samui. He kinda pissed me off. What did he do? Well, he wanted to know if I was okay and if I was fine with Naruto talking to me. He doesn't even know the woman or know what I've been going through. So he tried to help you and you want Naruto to hurt him. Well, kind of. You know that she's lying, right? Yeah, said Naruto. But you see, she told me what happened. You kind of pissed her off with all those questions. She's really stubborn, you know that, right? You're telling me. Hey, that's my girl, said Naruto. What? You just said it said Sasuke. Yeah, but I'm the one that can. Huh. You both are really weird. Yeah, said Naruto. Let's get this show on the road, shall we? Sasuke sighing. You've been asking for this, well fine then. Let's do this. As Naruto looked towards Sakura. Alright? A clean match. Nothing too dangerous. Or I will stop it, she said. And if any one of you go overboard, I'll punch you right over the head. As she looked towards Sasuke and then Naruto. Got that? She's becoming really difficult lately, said Naruto. Yeah, Sasuke said. What was that? She said. The both of them turned their head as they whistled. Alright, Sakura said. Begin! As both boys looked at each other. As Naruto threw a kunai and so did Sasuke, as both weapons collided in mid-air, breaking the tip of each. Fast movements there, said Naruto, as he bounced on the ball of his feet. Well then, as he didn't have his blades or anything on him, he just bounced on the ball of his feet. Neither Sasuke had his blades. This was a pure raw hand-to-hand combat, as they just had a few kunais and shurikens on them, and a few ninja wires. Sasuke was the first one to start as he blurred out of sight. The next thing Naruto knew, a feet came dropping down right on his shoulder as he blocked it with his arm. Over to the side, Kakashi leaned upon a tree with his book. I was wondering when you would arrive, said Sakura as she looked down. Hey, how's Yujito? Kakashi blinked. Why you asking me, he says. He looked towards Samui. You know, we know that there is something going on between you two. And you can hide it, but we saw you at the hospital. Kakashi turned his head. I don't know what you're talking about. She's okay though. Yeah, said Kakashi. As Samui just smiled. I'm happy that two of you met each other. The both of you are two couple of perverts. And I guess that work. Kakashi seemed to completely shrug that off. After all, walking around reading porn in broad daylight, being called a pervert wasn't much that hurt him anymore. So, these two look like they're gonna kill each other, said Kakashi. It won't go that far, said Sakura. Well, boys can be boys, said Samui. As our vicious right hook sent Sasuke sailing back. He used ninja wire and yanked it as Naruto turned as a barrage of kunais came towards him. Fast movement on Sasuke's part as Naruto leaped. He leaped right over them before grabbing the last one as he twirled and threw it. It was covered in lightning chakra. Sasuke turned. It severed the tree in half. Sasuke turned back as he blocked a vicious right hook towards his nose. He slapped on Naruto's arm and brought his leg up as Naruto grabbed his leg and twisted and slammed Sasuke in the ground. Sasuke kicked Naruto in the stomach with his other leg. As Naruto staggered back, Sasuke came up with a brutal right hook as Naruto smirked as he ducked. He body slammed Sasuke into the ground. He picked Sasuke up by his vest and threw him. As he went through a series of hand signs, Sasuke went through hand sign in mid-air. Fire style, fireball jutsu, he said. Lightning release, said Naruto. Electric spear. Naruto threw the electric spear towards a fireball. Sasuke intensified the flames as both attacks clashed and collided. Flames and sparks went everywhere. Both ninjas burst out of smoke as their fists slammed into each other's face. Despite that, the both of them smirked as they pushed each other back. A vicious roundhouse kick as their feet slammed together, creating a miniature shockwave. Naruto then jumped back and so did Sasuke as Naruto rolled his shoulders. It's about time that we kicked up a notch, right? Sasuke's Sharingan flared to life. Yeah, about, he said. As Naruto's eyes started to crackle a bit with lightning. Yeah, I think so, he said, as the both of them moved forward. Moments later, Tsunade arrived at the scene. What the hell's going on? As Kakashi looked over. Well, they were fighting, he said. He thought that would have been obvious. Her eye twitched at his smart-ass response. And who authorized this? You know you're scaring the people back in the village with all these explosions everywhere, right? As she looked over toward the side, where the hell are they? Kakashi pointed down, as there was a massive crevice open up in the middle of a training ground. Just what the hell have you done to the place? As she looked around, the place was a literal mess. And you didn't think that it was wise enough to stop them before this get out of hand. Kakashi simply shrugged as Tsunade felt like she wanted to rip that book that he had to pieces. Stop doing that, she said. As he shrugged once again, the woman lashed out at him as she grabbed the book away from him. No, he said. Go on. Do it again, she said. As Kakashi fighting urged not shrug his shoulders. As she held on to the book. Naruto! Sasuke, she shouted. Get the hell out here now! As both boys stopped what they were doing. Few seconds later, they walked out. Both of them looked to be in a mess. Tsunade was just... Well, she was also amazed by their power. She could tell that neither of them were going all out, but yet look what they did to the place. As the attacks were from some large scale lightning jutsu, so she had to judge that it was Naruto. They had some scratches on their face and cheek, and there was a solid red mark in Sasuke's face. It looked like a fist had impacted it, not once, not twice, not 3 or 4, but at least 6 times. Sakura came over looking quite pissed off. Didn't I tell you guys to stop? Some time ago, she said. She had told him to stop it because they were going out of hand, but yet she couldn't get involved because the electricity was so coarse around the air, and not to mention the flames were so hot she couldn't even get in close. Sorry about that, said Naruto. I guess we did take things a bit out of hand. Sasuke dropped to his butt, as his body was literally in pain. You know, I guess you were a bit more pissed than you said you are. As Naruto had repeatedly punched him in the face 5 times. And they were quite solid, as he rubbed his face in pain, as he spat out some blood. Well, you did stab me through the shoulder, said Naruto, so in all things were equal. Sakura sighed, as Kakashi came over with a laugh. And what's so funny, Tsunade asked. Nothing, he said. He just loved that the team was getting back together. Can I have my book back now, he asked. No, she said to him. Time skip. As a toad hopped inside the rain. The toad opened his mouth as a hand came out, before a body came out of the toad's mouth. As the sage, Jiraiya, just entered the hidden rain, undetected as he smirked to himself. He wasn't a master spy for no reason after all. No, to get the information that he needed. As he already told him that everything would be fine. He just needed to find out if the rumors back then were a lie, or if this is really Nagato. He needed to know. A part of him told him that he should have brought Naruto on the mission, but everything was gonna be fine. He just needed information. What he did tell Naruto was true. He didn't claim here to fight. So with that, he put a hood over his head as he made his way. Time to scout out the place and get the information he needed. As with that, he entered into the nearest brothel, and then next to the bar. Well, these were the places that you go for information. After all, that is what you usually do. So with that, he made his way. Meanwhile, at Konoha, Tsunade was in the office until an envoy came inside as he handed her a report. This was a chance that they might not ever get again. Itachi Uchiha was spotted going through the land of fire. Him and Kisame. She made that damn Uchiha promise that she would send him on the mission regarding Itachi. But she was still a bit worried, as Naruto is gonna want to go as well. But just in case, she will have a team as backup, ready if anything. So with that, Team 7 was called. The original Team 7, Sasuke, Sakura, Kakashi, and Naruto. Of course, Samui did tag along as well. As they all stood in the office, Sasuke stood there, unresponsive for a bit. Today was the day. Sakura glanced over at him. Sasuke, she said. He did not respond. Sasuke, she said. He turned towards her. Are you okay? She said. Yes, I'm fine. We have to move out now before they leave, he said. And remember, he looked towards Naruto. Yeah. You take care of Itachi. We'll take care of the others, said Naruto. Be careful, said Tsunade. To most, this might seem risky of sending Naruto out there against a group that was hunting him down. But who was she kidding? Naruto was one of her strongest jonins. Not the first strongest at the moment. With the power that he was granted by the fox, and not to mention his own, he was needed for these kind of things. But she was gonna have Team Guy ready just in case. So with that, Team 7 departed, Tsunade wishing them luck. Jiraiya hasn't sent anything back to her yet. But if anything had went wrong, she was sure the Toads would have contacted her. So she was sure everything was fine, but yet she was still worried. Now all that is left is Naruto and his team handle Itachi and Kisame, and the Akatsuki will be whittled down to a lesser number. She clasped her hands together, praying to any deity out there that might hear her, to make sure that they are fine out there on their missions. As Jiraiya went out on something unknown, which he was sure that he could handle himself, and with his title as a Sanin and his reputation, she didn't want to disagree with him. But she was worried the entire time. And no Naruto and Sasuke, Itachi was the one to kill the entire clan for a reason. But Naruto has grown so much more powerful, and so has Uchiha. So she had confidence that they could do this. She has confidence that they could win this. Yes, they will win this. And she hadn't gotten a bad sign yet, so she was not worrying. Meanwhile, Itachi, Uchiha and Kisame was making their way. They had just finished the extraction of another tail beast. Everything was going according to plan. But Itachi had set things in motion. Things that he wanted to end quickly. He heard about the defeat of Kakazu and Hidan. As Naruto-kun has grown so much more powerful, something that Itachi respected, because with his strength he's keeping Konoha more powerful. Although there is some things in the shadow that need to be extinguished if Konoha was ever gonna live peacefully. And that was one man. Danzo Shamura, Itachi was sure, was still going on with his underhand tactics. But Tsunade should be able to handle him soon enough, as she wasn't like the third at all. Itachi had been the one to tip off the envoy, as subtly genjutsu here and there to make them find their location. His time was coming, his sickness was getting worse. Them being the two last members, other than the leader and that fake Madara, he wanted to die now. He wanted Sasuke to come and kill him, because his brother was taken back towards the light, as Naruto had changed him for the better, something that Itachi was grateful for, as it brought a smile to his face, but not that he would smile out here. But once this was all over, he could even inform them before he died about the Rinnegan, the leader of the Akatsuki, to help Konoha better be prepared for what's about to come. But Sasuke would finally take his life and be seen as a hero, the one to reclaim his title, to reclaim his family name by defeating Itachi Uchiha, the one that slaughtered everyone. Yes, and everyone would see him as a monster and Sasuke as a hero, something that he was happy for. And he needed to make sure that Naruto was here as well, as he would think that Naruto would leave Sasuke to come here alone, so that he could take care of Kisame. Because once he was down, Kisame would surely fight back. And he needed to get rid of Kisame out of the Akatsuki as well. He needed to make sure the entire organization collapsed from the inside, so all their plannings would come up to nothing at all. And he believed in his little brother and Naruto Uzumaki. Yes, they can do it, given their newfound strength, which he was sure that he hadn't even seen the full extension of Naruto Uzumaki's strength yet. After all, being known as God of Lightning, there was a reason why you were given such names. As the both of them calmly made their way, Itachi, Kisame said, snapping from his trance. "You okay?" he asked. "If I must say, you're a bit silent than usual, which is crazy." "I'm fine," said Itachi, in his usual modest tone. Sami had a twitch on Kisame's back as Kisame turned his head. Something was coming. But guys, be in subscribe right here. If you want the next person to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on the bell notifications he posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was Neglected, with Jashin Seal inside of him. And also over on Anime Making 2. What if Naruto was too advanced for his age? So go ahead, check out that and enjoy, guys. Remember, if you're new, to go ahead and click that red subscribe button. And yes, you heard that correctly. I indeed have 3 channels: Anime Making, Anime Making 2, and Anime Making 3, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime Making family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying, talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.